Hey, thanks for listening to this Trainer Spotlight episode on Fitlete Radio. My name is George Pagan III. Let's meet our coach.
All right, guys, I'm Carmie Hawkins. I am owner of Carmie Hawk Fitness. I am a health coach. I focus on nutrition, lifestyle, and also strength training. I like to help women like me. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have two daughters. I got really tired of being sucked into that cycle of diet culture, fad diets, and yo yo dieting, and decided that there has to be more. It has to be something else other than being miserable and restrictive all the time. Got myself into the right, I guess, people and decided to go full send after my own journey that I experienced and realizing how much this changed my life for the better, and really wanted to just start helping other people like me find that power and help them understand that it's a lifestyle and it doesn't have to be miserable, and they can still make the memories, do the things, and be in those pictures with those kids because they finally embrace who they are as a person.
I know you're an awesome coach and take your job seriously, but to get to know you a little bit more, can you tell us a funny story about your life that happened outside of coaching?
So, funny story about me. I don't know if it's funny or if it's just I'm crazy pants. I am obsessed with my pets. I have two cats and a dog. Um, and they are not my pets. They are an extension of my family. They are like my children. And I have one in particular. His name is Nixie. He's an orange tabby and he's a typical ginger. He does a lot of naughty things and he's got a whole personality all on his own. But he is a stage 5 clinger. So every time I walk in the door, there he is. He greets me, he says hello, and he's always all over me and almost always within sight of where I am. And at this particular evening, I must have been really zoned in and it must have been a busy night. I had to kind of just lock in and do what I got to do. And after about an hour and a half, I'm like, I haven't seen the cat. And so I asked the girls, have you seen Nixie? And they're like, no, we haven't. So I go and I get his food and I start shaking it around because almost all the time, almost 10 out of 10 times, here he comes because he hears the food. Still no Nixie. So now I'm starting to get concerned and my husband's looking at me like, what's going on? Because I'm walking around the house, I'm pacing and I'm saying his name. He's like, what's up? I'm like, the cat's missing. So then he starts to see me start to panic a little bit. And then he starts to panic because now I'm about to lose my mind and the kids are seeing it on me. So he immediately jets out the door and I'm yelling at the top of my lungs in the house like a crazy person, thinking I'm going to find him. I'm going out to the backyard. I'm yelling his name like, oh my gosh, did he get out? Still nothing. So after about 20 minutes of looking for him and my husband knocking on all the neighbors' doors saying my wife is losing her mind right now and I'm basically in tears at this point, we find the cat. We find the cat in the front storage closet. The girls had it open. They were playing with it that morning and they shut it on their way out and they locked him in there. And the poor thing tried to claw his way out when he heard mama calling.
We can't train everyone exactly the same. Our clients come to us having different life experiences and sometimes force us to think outside the box when it comes to their training. As a coach, how do you problem solve with your clients who come to you with some common aches, pains, injuries, some physical limitations, or previous traumas so they can still get the results that they want and the ones that they came to you for?
Okay, well, first off, I think it's really important to understand the concept of scope of practice, especially when we're dealing with traumas, injuries, and pain. So I'm not afraid to tell clients that I'm not qualified to help them with that, but also be able to help guide them to the proper resources and to the proper people that can help them, like PT, their GPs, their therapists, whatever it is that they need in that moment. We do have to advocate for our clients, but also understand our limitations and do no harm to them. So I had a client come with some lower back pain. So we simply just said, take a couple days off from the gym, ease up on those exercises, and just focus on mobility and stretching exercises for about a day or two. And then I went to my amazing PT resource and I sent her some videos of stretches that could help her and some exercises that could help her. But ultimately, I told her if this pain doesn't subside after a couple of days, it's time to reach out to her doctor. It's also important to understand that clients can still operate under some pain and some injury, and that they don't have to completely stay out of the gym. We have to set those expectations. If a client has a broken wrist or an arm, well, of course, we're probably not going to have them doing anything with their wrist or their arm, but they can still probably train lower body to some extent and utilize machines versus free weights. It's really important to be able to highlight the things that they still can do versus the things that they can't. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. All we have to do for our clients is help to push them past those self limiting beliefs and help them lower their barrier of entry by showing them what they are capable of and not overwhelming them with too much at one time. It's all about flipping their perspective and their mindset.
Just like we are, most of our clients are spending time on social media and can get information from other people in their family and social circles. When questions come up during coaching calls and training sessions, how do you address some of the common misconceptions around nutrition and exercise with these clients?
So it's really important that when these situations arise, to ultimately humanize myself in the situation and also not make them feel any type of way for even questioning wanting to do something crazy that's being presented or misguided. I like to share my own personal experiences and journey with them. I communicate to them that there is a lot of misguided information out there that is meant to shock them, awe them, and get their attention by any means necessary, and that they can't always believe everything that they see because most of these things are meant to create fear, create a problem that never existed or doesn't even exist in the first place, or prey on their pain points and create some sense of urgency that isn't there, but making them want to feel desperate. I use my own story as an example, and that I'm a good example that the boring basics and those foundational habits are the best way to go because I too have fell victim to diet culture and all those crazy ass fad diets, guys. I fell into the detox realm, the green tea pills, anything that was out there, you name it, I probably did it. And so I highlight that and that got me nowhere. And those foundational habits got me to where I am today. I also tell them that this journey requires a lot of patience, a lot of delayed gratification, and it takes time, and that the results will not require anything extreme, restrictive, or ridiculous. Just do the things day in and day out and do them for forever at some level of consistency, and it'll all fall into place.
Our clients can come to us for many reasons, and often they tell us in their consultations or new lead questionnaire that they have multiple goals or they're trying to work on a couple of things. Usually it's not just one sole specific thing. How do you approach goal setting with these clients who have multiple objectives when you ask them about what their goals are?
All right, so my main thing here is to manage their expectations accordingly. I like to have them list their goals and then identify and order them from highest to lowest of importance. Then we can audit those goals and see which ones we could realistically attack and approach at that one time. I'm very clear to communicate that not every goal can be checked off at once, but it's not to say that we can't go back and attack it later. It just can't happen right now all at the same time. I'm all about getting them those small wins first to get them bought into the process by picking the most realistic and achievable goals first. That way they have some momentum underneath them. So, for example, if a client comes to me telling me that they want to lose fat and build muscle, well, I'm going to have to break that up into different stages because for the general lay population, it is harder to both cut fat and build muscle at the same time because of the environment that we need to create for each of the different phases. So I'd ask them, which is more important for you in this moment? If the answer was fat loss, well, let's get you into a fat loss phase and create a caloric deficit. If it's body recomp and building, well, then it's time to establish your maintenance calories and get you set up with a strength training program that focuses on hypertrophy. And whichever one they choose, the other one can be taken on or addressed later on.
I believe all coaches should have similar baseline knowledge before starting to work with people. And I'm building Fitlete to help bridge some of these gaps that exist in our exposure to education. What experiences or qualifications do you think are crucial for coaches to have in order to deliver the best service they can for their clients?
Now, of course, having the basic knowledge of nutrition, strength training, and exercise principles are going to be foundational pillars for any successful coach, and they will definitely need that inside of their toolbox. But I think it has to go beyond that. A coach must also have those like soft skills to be able to not only support and emphasize with their clients, but also be able to help push them and assist them in a constructive manner that allows them to get out of their own way. I feel like it's also crucial for coaches to not only talk the talk, but we have to walk the walk. We have to be the example. We can't expect as coaches to tell our clients to do something that we ourselves are not even doing. If we as coaches aren't modeling the behaviors and the actions that we're asking of our clients, how can we have any authority over what we're saying and what we're preaching about to them?
Our industry is evolving every step of the way, and we're getting to the point where it's essential to have some sort of technology within your business for both the experiences you can deliver for your clients and your ability to grow sustainably. How do you use technology to assist you in your coaching as a coach and behind the scenes as a coach that nobody really sees?
Oh man, I'm an absolute bore snorer. I'm a simplest at heart. I really just rely on Google Forms. I utilize the Strong app for my clients and their programming. I use Chronometer for their nutrition and tracking. I'm not too fancy with my systems. I don't require too much fancy. I'm a part-time coach. I hope to eventually um, open my wings and try to make this a full-time thing. But for now, those easy small things are really what helps me. It keeps me organized. It's very low level for me. So that's what works for me. I have and I will utilize AI tools like ChatGPT, but honestly, probably my go-to things that I use on a really daily basis is Canva, CapCut, IG, Facebook, things like that. I'm very simple. I'm easy. I don't like to make it hard.
Carmie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some great info about yourself. I met Carmie at the Real Coaches Summit this past year. We were in the hallway between presentations, actually walking in opposite directions. She was going to one of the other rooms that I was just coming from, and she was with a group of friends and just happened to be with a friend that we both had in common. And after she made the introductions for us, we exchanged some, brief pleasantries and hellos. It was easy to see that she had a passion for what she was building as a coach. So I'm glad you got to know her on here a little bit more through this episode. And check the show notes to see how to get in contact with Carmie Best. And that's all for this episode. If you want to learn more about Fitlete and possibly get your own episode, visit fitlete.com. That's Fitlete.com. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.